Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call the open meeting of the West Parry Sound Recreation Culture Center Board to order at 7:52 p.m. on this 9th of April. Prior to the open meeting, on a motion duly moved and seconded, the board went into closed session pursuant to Section 239, subsections 2 and 3 of the Municipal Act Statutes of Ontario, 2001, Clause 25, as amended. The West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board moved to a meeting close to the public in order to address matters pertaining to item E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, that being Whitestone Contribution Agreement. Item F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, that being the Whitestone Contribution Agreement. And item K, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on or by on behalf of the municipality or local board, that being a Whitestone Contribution Agreement, as well as the YMCA Operating Agreement and the YMCA land disposition. And additionally, there was an addition to the approved list of sponsors, prospect list. May I have a motion to, is there any additions to the open agenda? Hearing none, may I have a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda circulated? Approved by Mayor Robinson, moved and seconded by Councillor Fellner. The agenda for the April 9th, 2025 West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board is hereby approved as circulated. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you. Pecuniary interests, are there any to declare this evening? Seeing none, that moves us to the 1.5, which is the approval of the minutes. May I have a mover and a seconder for that? Mayor McGarvey and Councillor Dubrow, that minutes of the March 12th, 2025 regular meeting of the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board are hereby approved as circulated. All in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. Thank you. We have no delegations or correspondence to receive this evening. And under business, there is nothing for the chair to report in a verbal update in addition at this time. And that moves us into item 3.2. And we're pleased to have Director of Finance Stephanie Phillips with us this evening and to provide an overview of the financial reports. Please go ahead, Stephanie.
Thank you. So the March 2025 financial statements have been provided to the board for their information. The balance sheet shows that the cash balance is approximately $3.97 million at the end of March, after receipt of a claim of almost $3.5 million. $13.5 million approximately has been recorded in work in progress towards capital works to date. The statement of operations, $190,000 received for matching donations from Carmichael's for Make a Splash fundraiser, $2,305 in other miscellaneous donations, $4,369 from other fundraising initiatives, and $45,000 is recorded in sponsorship naming rights having been received year to date. Funds on hand are earning interest of $27,246 year to date. And as of March, the fundraising surplus from the beginning to date is $823,010. The cash for the cash flow, the cash balance is estimated at $3.32 million following payment of Progress Certificate 8. The cash projection, we have identified $2.63 million expected to be required through April and May. And once the line of credit becomes available, the board will be in a position to return temporary cash flow contributions to the partners. And that's a high-level overview. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Okay. Questions for Ms. Phillips? Hearing none, may I have a mover and a seconder that March 31st, 2025 financial reports be received for information? Moved by Councillor Lundy, seconded by Mayor McGarvey. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you very much. Moving to item 3.3, construction financing. And I believe that Ms. Phillips will provide us with an overview.
Yes, okay. So on February 12th, 2025, the board authorized a letter loan agreement with Bank of Nova Scotia for a line of credit for construction financing. And then following that meeting, the loan guarantee was finalized and each municipality received the documents and the draft bylaw for the respective councils to approve. It's anticipated that all approvals will be received just after April 25th, so over the next month, and forwarded to the bank to get financing in place. So very close to completion of that. So there's a bit of an update.
Any questions for Ms. Phillips with respect to that matter? I am looking for a mover and a seconder for a resolution that reads that the board received the April 9th, 2025 construction financing report for information purposes. Moved by Councillor Dubrow, second by Councillor Lundy. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you very much. And item 3.4 is project and budget update. And I believe that Mr. Inwood as well as Mr. Homewood will be addressing us this evening. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Homewood from Ball Construction joins us as usual and will provide a more detailed update. But again, I want to take a moment and just recognize, and as I'm sure all members of the board and frankly throughout the community can see, there's significant progress underway with major milestones being achieved in the last number of weeks and even more major milestones on the immediate horizon. So again, despite Mother Nature's wrath, they've continued to just forge forward and continue to make very, very positive progress on construction. With that, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to invite Mr. Homewood to come on and provide his update.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Homewood. Please go ahead.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I'll just share my screen here. Okay, everyone can see that screen now? Okay, so just an update on the overall project. So we're just going to have the same format. We'll talk about the short-term schedule, the overall project schedule, and a budget update. Lots completed recently and lots of new items that have started. So the structural steel is now complete. All the metal roof deck is complete. Some of the exterior structural steel or the steel light gauge steel stud framing has started. And actually this week, the insulated metal panels have started as well, which is the cladding around the backup house and around the gymnasium. So that's exciting. Some of the underground plumbing will start in May. The roofing will get it started later this month. And then the interior masonry work will start, all the walls within the change rooms and around the gymnasium. Overall project schedule, a few more items that are coming up soon. Some of the glazing, the exterior windows will be showing up on site closer to the end of May. Some of the insulation on the exterior walls will be starting and the cladding in June and July. The swimming pool is still slated to start sometime this summer. And then the asphalt paving in the fall. And we're still on target for our mid-May 2026 completion. In terms of the project budget, we're still on track. Everything is pretty much the same since the last update. The remaining tender packages, both the landscaping and the asphalt paving, the tender is closing April 17th, so next Thursday. So we'll have those wrapped up probably by the end of this month, as well as the miscellaneous metal. That's been all the bids have been received for that, so we'll be finalizing that at the same time at the end of April. So our overall project budget is still at the 39.5 million. This is a shot. This is actually at right off the main street. This is actually the main entrance. That's some of those V-shaped steel. That's kind of an entrance canopy area. This is the side where the drive aisle where you drive in, so you can see the exterior walls have started. And there's another good shot here. This is the front corner of the building, just right at the swimming pool. So that's comes to the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions, comments for Mr. Homewood or Mr. Inwood? Mayor Robinson.
It's amazing what you've been able to accomplish given what Mother Nature's been throwing at you. So congratulations to you and your crews for what you have done. Starting to look like something. I'm just wondering, would it be feasible to have a site visit that would fit a time for your crews and scheduling for members of the board, alternates, and maybe the fundraising committee? I'm thinking having people come and go at different times wouldn't work, but maybe having everyone come at some time doesn't work either. So just a question for you, whether that's something that's feasible or not.
Oh, absolutely. We're more than happy to tour any of the councillors or their board members at any time. We could just coordinate that through Councillor Inwood and our project manager, Vlad. Hey, the way we see it is this is your facility, so we're more than happy to show it off and show you where we're at. So anytime.
So through the chair, I guess, is it better as a group to come at once, or is it better just to set something up?
I think we can set something up. No problem. I'll speak with Mr. Inwood and we'll get that organized.
Okay, and don't work to your schedule, not ours, because if you try and get all of us together on a schedule, that's mission impossible. So just whatever date and time you pick.
Absolutely. No problem.
Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder that the board receive the April 9th, 2025 project and budget update for information purposes? Moved by Councillor Dubrow, seconded by Mayor McGarvey. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that is carried. Thank you. Item 3.5 is recognition of partners within the facility, and I believe that Councillor Lundy may be prepared to provide a overview of that matter. Could you use your microphone, please?
Came up at our last council meeting of the Township of the Archipelago. One of our councillors asked a question. All of the money that's being put towards this project by all of the municipalities, but speaking on behalf of the Archipelago, is there going to be a recognition of those partners within or on the building? Like now you go by, there's the big sign. I took some pictures of it today. It recognizes all of the partners, or the partners that were there when we started the process anyway. And will it just be the Parry Sound, West Parry Sound Recreation Center and Culture Center, or will it somewhere in the building, whether it's a donor wall or whatever, will there be a recognition for the municipalities that made it happen?
Thanks, Councillor Lundy. I will ask Mr. Inwood from the steering committee to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to Councillor Lundy. Well, there is no definitive answer that I can give you today. There is provisions for a donor wall that will be an electronic donor wall. Is that what we're envisioning? The fundraising team has been active in securing funding for that. And if it is in fact an electronic donor wall, there's no reason that the partner municipalities and First Nations couldn't be recognized on that as well. But as you see in the billboard that's outside of the facility right now, if you check on our website, the pool's website, all the municipalities are recognized there, and we'll find ways to make sure that that is included in the facility, in the physical facility as well.
Thank you.
Councillor Lundy, does that explanation meet your information needs, or would you like to proceed with a
Well, I don't
motion?
know, I think, through your chair, I think that CAO Inwood's answered the question. That there is being a provision being made. That's all I need to go back to my council with. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 3.6 is executing sponsorship and naming right contracts, and I believe that a member of the steering committee will be providing an overview. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This report outlines very high level a request for the fundraising co-chairs to be able to process contracts that are in line with the board's expectations on the approved list of vendors. At this point in time, the board has a standard template that is being used that was produced by our solicitor with respect to these contracts. Current process today is if the sponsorship team was to establish a relationship and secure funding tomorrow, they would have to wait for a month before they could come here to get approval and then take that contract back to them. So there's quite a lag in time. This would be a much more efficient process for them to be able to go ahead if it's within the approved terms of the approved list of prospects and in line with the case for support, to be able to go ahead and have those executed and bring them back to the signing authorities for the board for their approval as well. And then, of course, update the board monthly on progress, but give them the ability to move forward with those contracts in a more timely fashion.
Thank you, Mr. Inwood. Could we get a mover in a second? We'll get it on the table, then opportunity for discussions. Moved by Mayor McGarvey, seconded by Councillor Lundy, that the board authorize the fundraising team co-chairs to provide contracts directly to potential naming right sponsors as soon as possible after negotiations are complete, providing the sponsoring organization is on the approved list of sponsors and that the sponsorship terms are in line with the case for support for the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center. That the fundraising team co-chairs are authorized to recommend directly to the board's authorized signing authorities the execution of sponsorship contracts that meet the requirements noted above, and that the board will be advised by the fundraising team co-chairs of all executed sponsorship contracts. And are there any questions or comments? Yes, Mayor Robinson.
Excuse me, could you please go into order?
I believe there's set amounts for certain items. I didn't know if that should be included in this resolution, subject to adhering to those amounts, or does that in the case for support, so that I can read that as being.
If we vary from the amounts that are approved in the case for support, I would have to come back and get permission, but otherwise the pricing is in the case for support.
Thank you. That answers my question.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any further? All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that is carried. Thank you very much. Item 3.7 is a verbal report from the chair of the Fundraising and Sponsorship Committee. Please go ahead, Mayor McDermott.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to White Squall. I know some of you attended the paddling festival, and their net proceeds coming to the pool from that night are $16,063. So that's a little less than last year, but still significant. And I just want to report on the things that the items that have been sold. We've sold the main entrance to Bourgeois Ford. PharmaSave has purchased the naming rights to the walking track. Maple Leaf Marinas is sponsoring the donor wall. We've sold the multi-purpose room to Marla and Peter Ashmore. The two hydrating stations, i.e. drinking fountains, have been sold to Croft Industrial and the Kurlick family. And Ball Construction will be sponsoring the pool viewing areas. So that's what's sold. And today I received a call from Dent Bay Bakery. The proceeds from the Maple Syrup Festival and Butter Tart contest will be coming to the pool this year as well. So I think the fact that the building's coming out of the ground is having people actually call us because they realize it's really coming to be, and they're pretty excited about it. We do specifically ask each of the municipalities, we're coming into Lake, Road, Island Association meetings, and we would like the help of each council to get us those dates and take us to those gatherings this spring and summer. This is critical for us to be in front of the people that may donate. So we've already started a bit of a schedule, but we really are hoping that in each municipality, either all of council or someone from council can help us get to those gatherings this spring and summer.
Thank you very much. Questions for the chair of the fundraising committee? Mayor Robinson.
I've tried to sit on a few of the fundraising committee meetings to try and you're a very active and busy group, and I applaud your enthusiasm for what you're doing. I probably should ask this question there, but I didn't. Has there been any thought given to doing something along the lines of a lottery, like a 50-50 draw or that, or is that not something that's feasible or legal, or I don't know?
Municipalities cannot run lotteries. So because you're an MSB is an animal of municipalities, that's out of line. But I have already spoken to representatives of Ball Construction about possibly having what we would call a hard hat party, which is similar to what you asked for the board as a major fundraiser. I'm assuming that you will get the same answer I got for the board and possibly fundraising people to visit now. You'd all have to be in PPE until the occupancy permit for the building is out, just from a safety point of view. But there's a possibility we can get an occupancy permit by next year, March, at which point we could have a party, but also a first peek by the community at the building as a fundraiser. We are also discussing possibly having a lottery or an auction, not a lottery, an auction for things like the first person to jump in the pool, the first person to sink a hoop on the basketball court, the first person to go around the walking track. But that would be an online auction, not a lottery.
Thank you. Any further questions for the chair of the fundraising committee? Thank you very much for your report. That takes us to item 4, which is the adjournment. Given no further business to come before this meeting, may I have a mover and a seconder? By Councillor Dubrow, seconded by Connor. Seconded by, okay, all in favor? Thank you very much.